I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-looking for another load. Well, it's a family tradition, any Rocky Mountain day. Our fathers before us showed us the way. We worked for asphalt cowboys and concrete kings, but that's never been a problem, because we got diesel in our veins. We've got diesel in our veins. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks.
What's up, JFW family? Welcome back to the Channel 23 podcast. The purpose of this podcast is to reach out and touch the fleet, to engage and inform everyone with all things JFW. Good morning, Jim White, Brother Dave White, and Super Dave Weldon.
How's it going, everybody?
Morning, everybody.
Good morning, all.
I did see you guys' note yesterday. You're not going to be here on the 22nd, so we're going to be looking for some replacements.
That or we record early or late, one of the two.
We'll have to see how it goes.
We will.
We'll figure it out.
All right.
All right, but one thing that we will do for sure right now is say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Outstanding.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we get into the trucker prayer, we want to offer our condolences to Gilbert Benny. His brother has passed away in a truck accident, actually, and we just may his brother rest in peace and light. And then we also want to remember Chris Lanzini and offer our condolences to Paul Lanzini.
Yeah, rough week for lots of individuals. Ghost and Paul, so sorry for your losses.
Yep, absolutely. Reaching out with prayers.
Yep. Father God, we thank you for the opportunity to go out and do some trucking today. We pray for the safety of our fleet, all their families, and all the other families and individuals we come across on the road today. We pray for the patience and making the good, safe decisions. We pray to be accident-free and that we all make it back to the comfort of our homes this evening. We pray for healing and 100% recovery for all of our family members that are ill. No matter what, we trust you, God, and it's in Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
As a reminder, anything you hear on today's show is not the opinion of JFW's. It's just the four men in this room's expressed opinions. Episode 222 had 282 downloads. We are at 111.6 thousand total downloads, and we have 956 followers. One thing we did not have yesterday is we did not have a mandatory safety meeting for the people who did not listen to the show because...
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
Congrats. That is
Yep.
fantastic.
Victory. Absolutely. Man, I ran into this woman the other day and she had a white coat on. It was full of stingers and she smelled like honey. Right away, I knew she was a keeper.
And the dad joke challenge is on.
Let's go.
Oh, man. So the weather's been so nice. Last weekend, me and Holly went to the zoo and I seen a piece of toast there. Yeah. Zookeeper said it was bred in captivity.
Ah.
And this was for you, Jeff. What do you give a sick bird? Because I know you have one, so you should be an expert. Do you know what you give a sick bird?
I'd let mine die. No, what do you give a sick bird?
Tweetment.
That's cool. I'm just kidding.
Putty cat.
Freya gets lots of love and attention every day.
That's funny. Well, there was this drunk man that
I said, oh boy.
There was this drunk man that staggered into a church. And he sits down in the confession box and says nothing. The priest coughs once to get his attention and nothing happens. So he coughs a few more times and the man says nothing. Finally, the priest knocks on the wall 3 times in an attempt to get the man to speak. Finally, the drunk replies, "No use knocking. There's no paper in this one either."
Oh, no. Oh, that's funny. I got a religious joke for you as well. So, they say we come from dust, and we're going to return to dust. That's why I don't dust. It could be somebody I know. What do you got, Soup?
Well, I got a couple real true dad jokes.
Yay.
Love it. Did you hear about the Italian chef that died?
That's Amore.
Close, Jim. He passed away.
Ah.
And this one you might have already heard. What is Forrest Gump's?
Run, Forrest,
email?
run.
Run, Forrest, run. You're right. And did you hear about the fire in the shoe factory, Jim?
No.
Oh, it's got to be something about a soul.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? 10,000 lost souls. or
10,000
something?
souls were lost, and the police said some heels started the fire.
Oh,
Damn.
I hadn't heard the heels part. That's a good one.
What's a heel? Like I know on a shoe, but like what would a heel be? And
A scumbag.
oh, okay. Sweet. Glad I'm not one of those. Oh man. I knew this show was gonna be live. New employees, we got Anthony Loya and Johnny Labato. Welcome to the fleet, men.
Oh, welcome aboard.
Yeah, welcome everybody.
Welcome, guys.
Anniversaries, like to wish Carlos Beltran a 1-year anniversary yesterday.
Oh, congratulations.
Carlos, we've been
Congrats.
waiting for you to hit that 1 year, buddy. We appreciate you being here. And Jimmy Villagrana, man, he's going to hit 9 years this Saturday.
Jimmy V.
No,
Way to
no,
go.
no way.
Jimmy
No.
V.
Hey, we got to recount that.
I mean,
I believe it.
Way to go, Jimmy. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's been here a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oz asked me about a haul the other day.
a haul?
Trucking a haul.
Oh, a haul.
haul. And
That's what we do here.
we're right. We haul some stuff, Jim. And
That rectangular thing, door at the end.
sometimes the door's open though. And I said, did you look that up? Or, cause I said it was like, I don't know, did we do that in 20, 21, 22 or something like that? He looked it up. We started in 2015.
Oh, wow.
like 11 years ago, we did it. Like,
oh
what?
my God.
Probably due for an increase on that one.
Right. Yeah. That's what that was kind of the conversation. What do we charge? And
Oh, gotcha.
like, what did we used to do it for? Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
back in 1983, it was free.
Yeah.
Time.
2015.
Time warp.
Fuel was $1.99 a gallon.
Huh.
Yeah.
Birthdays. Dustin Romero Jr. has a birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Dustin.
Happy birthday, Dustin.
He's not a kid anymore. I mean, he started working here when he was like, what, 12?
I was going to say his birthdays. Has he done like his 18th here or his 16th, his 18th, his
He's
21st?
been around a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
If you want to count the days he was riding around with his dad, I mean, he was about 12.
Yeah, definitely.
And then happy birthday to Dextrick DJ Williams. He has a birthday this Friday.
Happy birthday, you guys.
I'm about to ask him why they call him DJ. I'll have to find that out later. Family birthday celebrations. Ontario's wife, Jillian, she has a birthday Monday the 30th. Benny Montalongo's daughter, Aviana, also had a birthday on Monday the 30th. Andre's son, Axel, we all know Axel. He had a birthday yesterday. And then Benny Montalongo's daughter, Celeste, has a birthday tomorrow.
Sweet.
So
Yeah, happy birthday, all
Yeah.
family members.
busy week in Benny's house.
Yeah.
Shout outs. Mike Kelly wants to give a shout out. He says, I want to give a big shout out to my brother Kay from Truck 0043. He saw me at my truck struggling to get my window tint off, and he didn't hesitate for a second to come out and give me a hand. He stayed late and helped me get it done. That right there is what it's all about. He's a true brother and a perfect example of what the JFW family stands for. Having each other's backs, no matter what. Appreciate you, Kay. And he's got the arm flexing emoji.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yes.
Kay's such a good dude.
He really is. Yep.
Yeah, and thanks everybody for working on the tint. It's just something where we finally ended up having to take a stance on it, and it's just easier without it.
Yep. Shout out to all the drivers that took the initiative to either at least try to get there started or do it instead of just parking and going home.
Yeah, I mean, I think everything has become more politically correct out there because we went through this once years ago, Jim. Do you remember?
We did.
And then it kind of fell by the wayside, and one driver tinted his windows without asking, and then another driver, and now it's come to the point where it's really being enforced, and we really have to, abide by that rule.
Yeah, I think part of the issue too is, you give somebody a little leeway. Next thing you know, we got limo tint on all the trucks. When a DOT officer sees the trucks go by and, you can't see in the window at all, I mean, that's a problem, and that just draws attention. I did look some up yesterday because one of our drivers, Andrew Nonis, he asked if he could just have window tint on the top of his side windows. I did look up the regulations and did some digging. So the front window, you're allowed to have a strip on the top as long as it doesn't cross a certain line. They call it like the A line. Some people, I think, say the top of the windshield wipers, but I'd have to really look at that.
That's what I'd always heard, Jim, was the top of the wipers.
But our visors are supposed to get that done, right? So there's really no reason to do that. The side windows, they got to allow 70% through, and there's no room for a partial compliance. The whole window has to be within compliance, so we can't have any, window tint chops on the windows. So, which leaves, the discussion, well, what about window chops? But I don't know that we've ever been written for window chops.
I mean, that'll be the next thing.
Yeah.
Right?
If we get written for them, we'll be taking them off.
Yep.
But in the meantime,
Yeah, and maybe with the windows not tinted, they'll leave the other part alone.
And
I think along with everything else, though, you guys, is we're really a high profile company.
Yeah.
There's not one of us out there. There's a bunch of us. You can't just run under the radar.
Right.
And we also, I think, when the State Patrol sees us, we set a standard.
Right.
And if they allow us to do it, it's kind of like what you just said, Jam, but on a bigger scale. If they're allowing us, because I'm sure a state patrolman pulls over and goes, well, you never pull JFW trucks over and they all have tinted windows.
Right.
And that's just how it starts. So we have to be the bar.
I mean, we've been hearing about the window tint. We had Sergeant Greniger. How long ago was he here? It's got to be 4 years.
Yep.
Maybe 4 or 5 years ago he was on the show, and he said, you guys are getting a lot of window tint violations. And we're like, yeah, we know. Yeah, we know. We'll just take those. And then the next guy, what was his name again? Remind me.
Mitch.
Yeah. Ecker, right? Yeah. He came on and he was like, you guys are getting a lot of window tint violations. And we're like, that's not a hill we're going to die. Well, yeah, we were going to die on that hill, actually.
Yeah.
And now Wyoming State Patrol, just so everybody knows, we had a driver get pulled over. The state patrolman wanted to talk to somebody here. The driver called me on his cell phone and handed the phone to the cop, and I had to have a conversation with the trooper about our window tint and why we have done nothing about it, even though we continually get warned that they're going to start cracking down. And no matter where they see us, they're going to pull us over, not just in the port. So enough is enough. I did look up on our, what is it, what's the CVSA, the SSM?
Yeah.
SSM?
Safety Management System or something.
SMS?
I think so.
There you go.
Yeah.
We have, and that's not including the most recent ones for Wyoming, it doesn't seem like, but we have seven window tint violations that anybody could look us up, and right away they're going to see, oh, wow, JFW, they don't care about window tint, And if we go to court on some accidents or some of the issues that we've been having, and then, the lawyers bring up, well, here's JFW's safety record. They don't even care about window tint. They're not doing anything there. It's just a lose-lose for us to have it. So sorry, everybody. I take no joy in, announcing it has to be taken off. I take no joy in helping people get it off. It just needs to be done.
I do want to throw out there, keep in mind, you can get one of the little tinted window shades that you can slide up. It rolls right back up.
Yep.
They make those that are static as well, that you can it's just a little square. You just static it on there and you can yank it right back off. Yep. There's also, because we've had a few comments made that, well, what's going to keep my arm from being burnt? They make clear window tint that stops and blocks all the UV rays, but it's perfectly clear. Right? It's not a tinted window, but it's UV. It stops the UV rays, so your arm can't get burned or anything with the window up.
Yeah, you could also wear sunblock, or you could get one of those sunblocking sleeves, or you could get a sun hoodie,
Or you can be like truckers have been for 100 years and have a dark left arm.
Yeah, I'm not down with that.
Farmer's tan.
That's right.
Trucker's tan.
Yep.
Yeah, Dave, I didn't want to say anything until I got them, and I just was curious what the quality was. But I got 2 window shades, a pair from Amazon, rolls up automatic. They come in 2 different sizes, a small and a medium. They can clip in the window or they suction cup, but I got them both for $21. And I just ordered them just to see the quality and kind of give the guys an alternative of this is what I found.
Yeah.
And how it works and everything like that. Because to me, the little window shade, And with the Kenworths are shaped with the T880, I only got like the 18-inch ones. So it's just that back half that shines across your arm and stuff. And it leaves the mirror piece open too, and easy to roll up. But just curious how they looked.
Sure.
And I was just going to say, I'd like to fact check it, Dave, because I think our side windows give us UV protection.
Yeah.
It's in the glass. You can't get a sunburn. And I don't know that for a fact, because what I did look up, though, is that, what does a tint do, what its main purpose is, and it does cut heat by about 10 degrees.
Yeah.
And that's nice.
That's the thing about it.
But that's also usually in a parked situation. And they say to protect your interior, protect, your car from getting hot. That's a sunshade in the front and on the side. That's the big thing about the temperature changes.
Sure.
So, I don't think we stay in the same direction long enough to really raise your vehicle temperature inside by 10 degrees or save it by 10 degrees.
So I did just Google that, Jim, because I was certain that glass stops UV rays. Yes and no.
Okay.
So yes, UV radiation passes through glass, but it depends on the type of UV and the glass. Standard untreated window glass, such as in your home, blocks almost all UVB rays, which causes sunburn, but allows a significant amount of UVA rays, which causes aging and skin cancer, to pass through. Generally, about 50 to 75% of UVA passes through residential windows. So that's a significant amount more or less rather than you get just walking down the street with a short sleeve shirt on.
Right.
Cars, front windshields are usually laminated and block 99% of all UV.
Maybe that's where I'm getting it, Dave, is the front window.
Yep. And then side and rear windows often allow UVA to pass through. But, it's still, it's way less, and you're way more protected just by the regular glass than if you're just outside.
Yeah, absolutely.
One more thing about the window tint, and then I want to jump back up to shout outs.
Yeah, Jim.
Because we shouted out about window tint, we kind of got into the
window tint.
Yeah. If you need help taking your window tint off, come see somebody on the leadership team. We've been helping guys out. Some of the trick is to one piece it. If you could just start it and peel it slowly and get it to come off in one piece, that is the goal. If it starts coming off in pieces, it's a pain. So also with it being a little cooler out, we didn't have the heat on our side, warming those windows up, loosening the adhesives up even so slightly would have been helpful. Talking to my roommate yesterday, he mentioned if you got a steamer, that's the best way to take it off because it just bubbles up the window tint and really softens up that adhesive and it just comes right off. So it might be worth, maybe I run to Walmart today and just buy a cheap one and,
Yeah, I could ask if we had one.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't know, for the clothes.
I was going to say a steamer for like getting the wrinkles
goes
out of your clothes.
Gotcha. Traveling or something.
Well, they got ones for cleaning now.
Oh, yes, they do. For the auto detailing.
Yeah, I think that really kind of concentrates, you know what I mean? But then I wanted to give a shout out to two guys. These two guys were in our first couple meetings for the podcast, the mandatory meetings, because they weren't listening. But these guys, their attitude, first of all, they've been doing the test, the quiz, the challenge every week. And their attitudes are just great, and they just want to learn and know things. And that's Dion Jones and Ted Lyons, man. You guys appreciate the good attitude and, just being positive all the time and wanting to be better.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Ted had his wife riding with him last week, almost every day. So that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the boss.
Okay.
I got that feeling. Any shout outs from you guys?
Yeah, I got a couple. I was having to have physical therapy, and then I was also doing physical massage on my knee. And my massage therapist started listening to the podcast. So a shout out to Nicole for listening to the podcast. And it was kind of cool when she asked me questions about the grain spill we had last week and, joked with me and said I need to pick up my dad joke game. It wasn't that good, giving me a hard time. I know she has Balanced Body Massage, and then also her husband, or her and her husband have Eden Fitness in Brighton, and they're going to be opening they have a gym in Brighton now, and they're going to be opening a second gym in Brighton also. So if you're looking for a place to work out in Brighton, you might think about Eden Fitness, and then also Nicole for Balanced Body Massages. So shout out to them.
Nice.
And then last week I had Dwayne Potter. Potter reached out to me, and we had a good conversation about trucking some stuff and seeing how he's doing. And he did send an email in for me to read on the podcast here and stuff. And I think me and Potter need to discuss it a little bit more and see if we can, how he feels about things. It's kind of the same thing we talk about, where we're just kind of complain about what we're doing, and things not being done. And I know he realizes that. And he just talked that the job he has now, if some of the mistakes he would do out on the road, that we like the wrong material, we can kind of fix that out on the road for other drivers. If they'd load the wrong stuff and haul it thousands of miles, what do you do with that load? And you just have to pay attention. So appreciate you sending that stuff in, Potter, and I'll give you a call and we'll discuss it.
Yeah, I don't know. We're comparing apples to apples either, though. When a guy's delivering 5 to 8 loads a day, versus 1 load in a week, it's a little bit. I'm not making excuses for our guys, but little different pace. You may be delivering 5 loads to the same place and then 1 load somewhere else. I just think the chances for that being an issue is a little bit greater than, hey, you're taking a load from California to New York this week, and then you drive to Florida.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just, bill of ladings, nobody's going to accept your load, when they have the bill of lading and go, oh, well, that's sand and I ordered rock, they're just not going to take that at the dock or whatever it might be. So yeah, there is a difference. I think the theme is, when we talk about it all the time, is we just really have to pay attention.
Absolutely.
You have to, do your job, the Bill Belichick, all the little sayings we have, you have to have situational awareness. You have to have, head on the swivel, you have to, changing lanes, you have to lean and look, and just all the things we do.
Man, I read something the other day. It was faith-based, but it said something to the effect like, you're not going to grow into this big faith by these like grandiose, like spiritual moments. It's going to be these small little moments where you show faith that get you there. And I just automatically thought about the same thing with JFW. Like, you're going to become a great driver by doing all the little things the right way versus, having like this one kick-ass moment in your driving career. It's all the little things count. They add up.
Yeah. Well said. It's the small things that make the big things count. I mean, you can't get someplace unless all the little small things are put together.
All the little small things make the big things a small thing.
Yeah.
There's so many sayings about that stuff,
Devil's in the details.
Cross your T's and dot your I's. I mean,
yeah.
It's so important.
Any other shout outs, guys?
I got one for Todd Dole.
Oh.
He's such a rock star. Every time I'm over there at Yard 23, when I see him, he's checking out his truck.
Huh.
You know what I mean? He parks and he walks around it. Saw him standing there the other morning, and he was letting the truck go through the test. Instead of walking around it, he was standing there looking at all the lights, observing everything function, and he wasn't just standing 2 feet from the headlight. He was back 10 feet so he could see the markers and the turn signals and just everything about it. And I don't know, it's fun to watch someone in their profession who makes it a true craft. And I think Todd exemplifies that. I think he does a great job, and I just want to give a shout out to him. When you witness somebody doing something, not once, not twice, but all the time, it seems like that's pretty great. That's pretty great.
It's kind of odd because he calls in on the radio with problems all the time. Oh, no. That's not Todd. Todd never does that.
Yep, exactly, Jeff.
Yeah, it's funny. I was talking to a gentleman yesterday that came in for a job interview, and we talked about that because he is a lifelong driver. He's a veteran. It's all he's done. And it's really rare nowadays to find people that take their trade, meaning driving trucks, that seriously. it's just a job for so many people.
Mhm.
Something pisses them off, they quit, they move. I can get a job down the street, and it's the people that take so much care and so much pride. It's like a craftsman, even though we're not building a home or anything, but it's truly a craftsman.
It's our craft.
And I admire that people will take that very seriously
Absolutely.
and want to be the best at whatever they do. We talked about that before. You could be a janitor, but be the best damn janitor you can be.
Yeah, I look at it, Super Dave, because we all try to work on how can we, either help somebody be better or how can we be better or all the other stuff. And I think for so long when you have your craft here, and we've all talked about this saying or we talk about it, is that everybody gets a trophy. Everybody gets a trophy. And if you do your craft well, you could have been one of those people that just got a trophy. So you think it's okay. You don't stand out. You can't have a plumber and put a bunch of plumbers together and, all of them are good. And they're like, okay, good job. You got it. And the one guy can't even, make a toilet drain. You know what I mean? That's you can't get a trophy for everything. You have to stand out. You have to do your job well. And those are the people that won the game, but other people got trophies. I don't know. I just feel that way, that it's too common, Dave. And it could be that I just don't think you don't care. It's just too common. It's just too easy, not to do it right. It's okay if you don't do it right.
Yeah. I think people get into truck driving for different reasons nowadays. 35 years ago when I was in trucking, not driving, but I was in the industry from the day I turned 16 years old, and I got a job washing trucks for a guy, because I loved trucks and I was interested in everything that had to do with trucks. And nowadays it's a job. And I think I like to drive, so why don't I get my CDL? And it's a different reason, I guess. It's not a love. Maybe it can transpose into love, of the vehicles and of driving in the mountains or, all of the other things that we do, but yeah.
I think we got some people here that do love it, and they're here because
Absolutely.
we got like, you told us a story about Bennett,
Bennett was one of those guys. Yeah. He loved this stuff.
Yep. And then, there's a lot of guys I think here that do love it. I think there's some people that get into it.
Speaking of Bennett, I hear there's a trick to getting that hood open, and I sure didn't know it.
Well, hopefully anybody could open it up real soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of I get off on the subject where we would talk about performance and stuff along with the trophy, and we really don't do that anymore, and you try not to do that. But back in the day, like if you just, like, for example, leaving your tailgate open, I know the other drivers here would give you such a hard time.
Oh my God.
Oh boy.
And I guess that's bullying, or that's, I don't know what that exact word is, but you just didn't want all the ribbing. You didn't want to be made fun of, or you didn't want the nickname, hey, tailgate, or latches,
Right.
or, you just didn't do it because you're like, Jesus Christ, I'm tired of being made fun of,
Right.
or I ain't going to give somebody an excuse. So you paid attention to that stuff.
It made you better.
It made you better.
Oh boy.
And I guess it made you tougher. I don't know. I
Held you accountable.
Yeah, hold you accountable. And, I know there's still some joking and stuff going on, but you were a tighter team, and you just didn't let your other teammates fail. You just didn't do it. So, yeah.
Any other shout outs, guys?
Boy, we did a lot besides shout outs.
Right?
I really,
Got on the
I
sidetrack,
really
didn't
got
we?
off.
Well, yeah, just because we got a little sidetracked. I just, Todd Dahl's good at his craft.
Yeah.
All right, Todd.
Very, very good at his craft.
Yes.
Yeah. I
Shout
talked
out
to
to
him
It's
Todd.
fun to
Saturday,
watch.
Saturday too, Dave, and he was doing spring cleaning. So yes. He was,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
When I was talking to this gentleman yesterday, we used Gilbert Benny as an example, Ghost.
Great.
Yeah.
So
Yep, another
same
one.
same thing.
Mhm.
He is a consummate driver.
Does it right all the time.
Yes.
He's been on the Doing It Right list multiple times. and
Absolutely.
I bet any time if you were to investigate what Gilbert Benny's doing out there, he's doing it right.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, just a quick story on a side note on people knowing their craft. I had a meeting with our electrician over there at the building yesterday, Ray. I can't think of Ray's last name, but it's his own company. And when he needs help, he actually brings in his wife and his kids and all sorts of stuff.
That's cool.
He's got a journeyman that works with him. And then he's actually got a retired fella that comes in when he hits a big job like ours that helps him. And it was kind of funny because we were going over where outlets are out in the shop. And I looked over at, I'm going to call it the dispatch wall, because on the inside is where dispatch is at, on the outside of the shop. And I'm like, I thought there was more outlets here. And Ray looks right at me and he goes, yeah, there was. He said the drywallers drywalled over one. and it's common, you know what I mean? These guys are hanging 4x12 sheets of plywood or drywall. So it's easy to miss an outlet. I know that probably sounds crazy, but anyway, I was like, well, wasn't it like here or, somewhere around here on the wall? And the electrician that was with Ray, the older guy, he actually, I think Ray bought the business from him, which is my understanding, and I could be wrong on that. So anyway, the guy cruises over and he just finds a scrap piece of drywall. And it's only like 2 inches wide, but it's like 4 feet long. Like they cut the bottom of a sheet of drywall off. And he cruises over to the wall and he lays it horizontal and he goes up the wall and he marks a spot and then he turns it vertical and he goes across and he marks another spot and he goes, the outlet's right there. He just used it as a straight edge. And where the drywall was bowing out is where the outlet is.
I was going to ask, how do you find it after they cover it?
Yeah. And then it was funny because the GC was there, Dan, and he's like, is there an outlet in there? And he's like, yeah. And the electrician is like, do you want me to take a hammer and find it? And Dan, the GC, is like, no, I'll have the guys do it. Because I said, how do you find it? And Ray goes, I just take a hammer to the drywall.
And then you'll have to replace that sheet of drywall.
Not the electrician's problem. It's the drywaller's problem. That's right, Dave? But yeah, there's a little better way to do it. Yes. It was just funny because it all unfolded in like 45 seconds.
That's funny.
You know what I mean? It happened way faster than I could tell the story.
Good story. Love it.
But more information on your craft. He knows his craft. They've been in these job sites. They've done these things. So good stuff to watch.
Awesome. And you guys mentioned it, but give a shout out to Bennett because he's such a young guy and is so passionate about his craft. I know, and he didn't get overloaded, but got a wet load at the brewery a few weeks ago. And we really thought it was more overweight and we hadn't had a chance to weigh it. And he was not overweight. But what I want to brag about Bennett is that he recognized there was a problem and he just stopped.
Some great situational awareness.
Awareness. He just stopped. Yeah, made some phone calls.
Good shot.
I know we had him come in the next morning, and we were trying to figure out what was going on with the load or what we would do with the load. And he kind of sat there like he was in the principal's office because we were all working around him, and it was kind of funny. But I don't really believe any of us ever really chewed on him, and hopefully we said something to him then. But I'm saying it now that's what you need to do. You know, if there's something that just doesn't look right, just don't keep going. Just stop.
Yeah.
We have so many people here to fix it, and it might not be. The thing too is we've learned with age is we don't have to fix it right now. Sometimes, that was on a Sunday. Just let's wait till Monday morning. We'll figure it out. We can fix things. So yeah, shout out, to Bennett for doing that. And, when we give the shout outs, hopefully it's kind of a lesson to the people listening. Todd Dahl, concentrating on his craft. If you run into him and you got a question, ask the guy. I bet he's got an answer. I bet he'll help you. Same thing with Ghost. Same thing with Bennett. He's a young guy, but he's got a passion for it. He's been studying that because of his passion for years because he was a kid. He's got a passion for it. So he's probably got 10 years under his belt and he's only 21 years old, So yeah, we do that so it helps everybody.
And I'm sure we missed a lot of people that
absolutely
they're doing it great. So
good point, Jim.
Definitely have a lot of rock stars here.
A lot of great drivers.
Yep.
Yeah, I love my analogy. We hit the gate once and scream about the gate, but we didn't scream about how many times everybody went through it and not hit it. And we have a lot of the people here that miss the gate.
Yeah.
They just don't hit the gate.
Yeah, I think about that saying a lot, and I guess it's just because the expectation is not to hit it,
Yeah. But we've proven it. Some days it's difficult, I guess.
Right.
All
right. Any other shout outs, guys?
No, sir.
All right. Well, we've already done the discussion, so say the creed and get on out.
Oh.
Next on the discussion topic, moving forward, and this was written the other day, but we have a 5 a.m. start time now until basically November, until you hear something different. If there's no announcement made on Connect Team, we have a 5 a.m. start time. If you don't receive a dispatch and there wasn't an announcement saying if you didn't receive a dispatch, you're not working, just be here at 5 a.m. We'll put you to work. You know, we're not super busy yet, but things are starting to ramp up. I think the weather this week is kind of throwing us off a little bit, but, 5 a.m. from now until November, unless you hear something different.
Yeah, I know the pits, a few of them changed their from winter hours to summer hours too. I know I heard Oswaldo mention asphalt specialties.
Asphalt paving.
Paving, I mean.
APC.
Yeah, APC changed. So, yeah, good point. And, we really should have work unless we still run into a rainy day or something. But
Yep.
I'm sure, we'll start doing some chip sealing,
Yep.
all that kind of stuff. The asphalt plant will get hot and heavy down south. There's just all the normal stuff will start clicking along here.
Yep, the days get longer and longer, and next thing you know, hopefully we catch fire and
Just get going.
yeah.
Boy, don't joke about the catch fire as dry as it is out.
Yeah.
Jam. That could be bad. That could be a bad wish.
Yeah, good point.
But I understand what you mean.
Call-offs. All call-offs go through dispatch. If you cannot make it through work, don't text Super Dave or myself or JR or even somebody in dispatch. You need to call the main line and leave a message on the recording, because that is truly one of the first things dispatch is going to check is that main line. The other day, somebody shot me a text saying, "Hey, I'm not coming in today." I'm like, "Hey, listen, do me a favor, let dispatch know." I forgot about it from then. Next thing I know, I'm looking at the morning notes. "Hey, so-and-so, the no call, no show." I'm like, "Oh, he actually texted me," right? But I should have relayed that message, but really, I shouldn't have received the call from the beginning. Dispatch is the ones that need to know. I think Super Dave, is that still like the very first thing you cover at the table?
No
Dur-
texting.
During orientation, like here's a card. This has dispatch's phone number on it. If you can't make it to work, this is the number you need to call. The good thing about that is if it's midnight and your child is sick or in the ER, you're not feeling well, and you've been up throwing up all night and it's time for you to go to bed, you don't need to wake up at 4 or 5 a.m. to let us know. You could just leave a message,
Mm-hmm.
So.
And it is the first thing dispatch does too,
Yep.
is check messages. Yep.
So, let's see. Why do we have start times? This was a question that Dale asked, right? Well, now we have a 5 a.m. start time, but if we had a different start time, there's reasons for it. If we have a later start time, maybe the pit was stuffed the night before, not the pit, the plant is stuffed the night before. They don't have room for the material, or there's a million different reasons, right? Or there's no support. If we have a 5 a.m. start time, but you're starting at 3:30 because you want to be the first one up at Fair Play, that's not working for us. We don't have the support at that time in the morning. Plus, everybody else is waiting till 5 a.m. You could wait till 5 a.m. Plus, we need you to work the whole day, and get that last load, not be working since 3:30, So there's a few different reasons.
Yeah, Jam, like when you said, I know there's not truly a million of them, but there is lots of reasons,
Yep.
and it's just, and we try to, control what maybe shows up on the job site, or controls so you're not sitting there waiting on the loader to load the other 10 trucks.
Right.
It could be like the super dumps today. They had a load before and then their paving times, and paving's a little bit different because they want to time it. So they don't have a bunch of trucks sitting on site because they can't have a bunch of trucks sitting on site. And yeah, you really, as a joke, but there is a million reasons. So please pay attention to your start time.
Yeah. Another reason is we don't want our trucks up there idling, just wasting fuel, and
Absolutely.
those engines aren't designed to idle. They're not very good.
Nope.
Idling is not very good for the
Nope.
engine.
Not at all.
So-
Yep. Lots of reasons.
Why and what are we taking pictures of during the pre and post trips? I got a message. Don't send pictures with lights out and dipsticks dry, and we could add tailgates open to that list, right? So when we're doing our pre-trip, it's not just checking boxes. We want to do a pre-trip to recognize things that are wrong. So if you send us a picture and you have 2 marker lights on your tailgate out, that tells us you're like a robot. You're like, oh, I need to take a picture of my tailgate. Click, and there's 2 lights out. We want a picture of all the lights on. Like, go get some marker lights and change those, right? Or don't send us a picture of your dipsticks dry, right? We want you to fill the engine full of oil and then take a picture. Same thing with the tailgates. Don't send us a picture with your tailgate sitting on the dogs, because that leads us to believe you left the yard like that. Anyone want to chime in a little on that?
I mean, the pictures were to truly solve a problem, because we had so many people leaving with tail lights out, tailgates on the dogs, just the low oil, and we'd have somebody drive somebody else's truck, and they'd come in and go, hey, this guy is, this was 2 gallons low or a gallon low. And, we truly thought by taking a picture, I'm going to use that because a lot of times on the old stuff with a picture, you used to have to focus and bring the camera into focus. We thought maybe this would get you to focus on the lights out, or the no oil in the truck, or the tailgate on the outside of the dogs, that this would get you to focus. Because how can you take a picture of something that's wrong and then send it in and say it's okay? Well, now we have people sending pictures in of just lights out.
Yeah.
That is, like you said, Jim, that's not the point. We're trying to get you to focus on what the problem is and catch it before you leave. It's, so what the DOT, probably because we try to do a really good job, or the State Patrol or the port, of not having lights out, they don't write us tickets for that. But that's a DOT violation. Lights out. We've already had a spill, and we have other spills. We've broken windshields, everything like that. We want the tailgates closed. We want the load secured. That's part of the deal of like a spilling on the highway ticket. That's because the load wasn't secured. You driving up in the morning, whether you're empty or not, with the tailgate open, that container is not secured. And especially if it's possibly not your truck, you don't know how well that trailer was cleaned out. And all those rocks are just, they might fall out of the rails, they might fall out of the tarp, they might fall out of the liner, they might be in the nose, but they will work their way back to the back of the trailer with the tailgate open, empty, and it'll break a windshield. This time of year, we have more and more bikes out on the road. I don't want to hurt a motorcyclist or have somebody ride behind me or piss somebody off so they ride like an asshole and then wreck.
Right.
All that kind of stuff. There's just so many reasons. And again, we will continue to do that because we have to do something to make it better.
Right.
And truly, this is one way to hopefully make it better, that you're not taking a picture of something that's wrong.
Yeah, imagine, and this hasn't happened, knock on wood, but imagine you're going to get loaded with cores, and now we're having them take pictures of the linkage underneath the fenders to make sure you're cammed over. Imagine taking a picture of not cammed over and sending that into us. I mean, that defeats the purpose.
Yeah, it falls all on you.
Yeah, we want pictures to make sure you're checking the things out to make sure it's right.
And in case something happens, you have proof. We're good. We're defendable. We're all doing our jobs. We're doing the best of our ability. We have situational awareness. All of that.
Yeah.
It's a killer.
All right. I thought I was going to hear from Dave White.
You guys, it just makes me so angry. You know what I mean? So I just have to sit here and be quiet because I can't believe we're here. It's just, it's where we're at. It's like Jim said, we're trying to think of something else to make it better, and it we thought a picture would make it better, and we just get a picture of a tailgate open and lights out.
I mean, I think the pictures are helping though, especially the pictures of cores. I mean, I feel like that's really been
absolutely,
that's solved the problem for sure. I mean, knock on wood, I don't think we've had any issues since we've started taking the pictures over there, and I think a lot of the guys get it. I think there's a few people that just get in a rush, or they're not understanding like what the purpose of the pictures are for. They just need to slow down and realize like, oh, I have lights out. They don't want pictures of lights out. I need to fix the lights, So, again, most everybody's probably doing it the right way, and some people just need some more training. So
You're on the high road, Jam. Good job.
I'm trying. You're not there, so.
He was-
Okay, I take that back. You're not on the high road.
You stay on the high road. I'm just kidding. Oh, man. Something's wrong with me. I might be sick. I'm just kidding. All right, next on the list is Joanne wanted to talk about emails went out on March 31st to all active employees in regard to a 401k plan with PCS. Okay. So anyone that's been here, before the end of the year, your 401k was with one company. We've changed it. It's supposed to be better, cheaper, more options. It's supposed to be a win-win for us. Okay. But because we changed, there's some moving parts, and you need to check your emails for this, as it's very important information regarding the following. The enrollment due date is April 13th. Contributions will start going to John Hancock on 4/20. Okay. There will be a blackout period May 8th to May 29th. You cannot request loans or distributions, change investments, or access your account during this time. Please register with John Hancock with the link in the email. All information to do that is in the email. Registering will give you access to your account, will allow you to change investments or contribution amounts, and will allow you to request a loan after the blackout date. The announcement I sent on Monday in Connect will go out again later this week. All new hires and employees not yet eligible for benefits can use the link in that announcement to enroll if they wish. Please email or come see me with any questions. Thank you. I'm going to add one more thing and then I want to talk about it, but you don't need anything. You don't need to do anything to roll it over. We're going to do all that for you. The only thing you do need to do is register. Once you're registered, we'll take care of the rest. I did register when that first email came out. It is minutes to do it.
Piece of cake.
Piece of cake. And what's cool is you get to download an app. So you'll be able to just look on your phone and check your investments instead of having to log into a computer and do all this jazz. I mean, it's going to be right there at your fingertips. So already I think the app is an improvement of not having one. So it's very easy to do. And man, the 401k is so important for everybody. But if you're younger, you'd really be doing yourself a favor by getting involved at an early age. And if you're older like myself, you should still do it. So
Yeah, you don't have to put the minimum in.
you don't have to.
Yeah.
Right?
I would,
If you're young,
yeah.
put the
At
minimum
least,
in.
right?
If you have to do a
Right.
little catch up.
But
It's a
they
good way to
also
do it.
offer a catch up at 55 and above. I mean, they try to take care of the people on the 401ks.
Oh, I misunderstood. You're saying if you're older, you could put more than the minimum.
Yes.
Yes, gotcha.
Yeah, you can do the catch up. But I just, for a young person, I mean, I know we've talked about it on the podcast before. I wish we would have had something like this, or I would have searched something like this out when I was, 18, 19, 20 years old. I mean, I've been, getting a paycheck since I was 18 out of high school. Been working here, driving and getting a paycheck. And it's very important. And I know you said it, Jam, but I want to make sure the money, the transfer, the moving, all that stuff is done. But if you want to register and see your stuff and make any changes, you have to register your account, right? It's just like, you can open a banking account and do anything, but if you don't register for that banking account, you don't have any control over it.
Right.
You can't do anything with the app. And then also, I don't know if I can find it fast enough, but if you do register and you do get into your account and you see it's lost some money, it's because the stock market is very volatile right now.
Mm.
And, I've got a great message from Rebecca DeSoto that was on the podcast.
Oh,
She's an investment person. She sent out everything. And just because she was on the podcast with us, she sent it out in my email, but it's just, ideas on to stay calm. Don't panic. You can't outmove or out trade the stock market. Just give it some time. She sent several links on how the stock market, because the S&P 500, it dropped 7% so far this year. And, for people that are getting close to retirement, that's a lot of money it's lost. But the videos and links she sent out showed that, it gains 8 or 9% after a drop like this. So just bide your time. So anybody that has their stuff in their 401k, we have a lot of employees here that do, just don't panic. It'll come back, or history shows it comes back. I can't guarantee that, but history shows it'll come back. And, but also, you have to be an advocate for yourself, right? We tell you about that health insurance. We tell you about, whatever you do to be an advocate for yourself. When you talk to the state patrol, this is the same thing with your finances. Be an advocate for yourself, register your account. Like you said, Jam, get your app set up, look at it once in a while, talk to people, or you can probably call somebody at John Hancock, PCS. And if you don't think your stocks are doing well, you can probably change them. But there again, be an advocate for yourself, pay it. It's your life.
Be engaged.
Be engaged, be involved in it, and, register, for your account and take care of your stuff. It'll help you in the future. All that stuff helps you in the future.
Can you find her quote? Because that's where you were going.
Yeah, I was, Dave, and I was
too difficult to find.
Well,
that was a great quote,
right? Yeah, let me just think it was kind of in the center here.
Yeah, and just for a little airtime filler here, being engaged in that, filling out that request that we sent out. So you've moved over to the Hancock side for the 401k. Doing that is just like taking a picture of your tailgate closed. It's taking a picture of your tailgate with all the lights working. It's being engaged in what you do.
Yeah, absolutely, David. Thanks for filling in there, because I did find that. She says, stay the course. Reacting emotionally to short-term declines often does more harm than good. Time in the market typically beats timing the market. So, history shows time in the market typically beats timing the market. So anyway, even if you have investments outside, just give it a chance. Don't panic.
Like it. Anything else for the discussion, guys?
I don't think so.
No.
Well, yeah, I do. The and we mention it quite a bit. And we have a few months left here at this location. We'll be over at Yard 23, the new building. For us, there'll be all sorts of new adventures that we'll have to set some rules up for, or what works best for us. But please, Jam says we have everybody listening to the podcast, everybody taking the test, getting your 1% on your safety bonus, all that kind of stuff. But when you come out the south side of the driveway here, please hang to the left side, switch traffic. And I hope I'm reaching, because I still see guys
going out and coming in.
You're going to switch traffic. I see our guys, coming in their personal vehicles, and it's such a struggle when we meet each other. And if you'll just turn inside the truck coming out, if you'll just hang to the south side of the south driveway, you can pull up there and stop. And the traffic that, if you use your turn signal and you come in and leave, it is so easy to come in, you guys. And it seems like such a battle, but it's something we discuss. And I know it's opposite of what you're used to doing, but this is something we're going to start your morning off with some situational awareness. This is how we get you fired up for the day, that I got to be thinking of my job. And when you can't quite get out the driveway and Dave and I are sitting there, it makes us nervous for you for the rest of the day on how you're going to do things. Because what's the saying, Jam?
The way you do one thing is the way you do everything.
Yep. So please, you guys, opposite side of the driveway there, we're going to be here for, 90 more days or possibly less. And we'll be at the new building. And, there's going to be so many changes and opportunities to learn over there. It's going to be exciting to get in the new place. So I think that's it, Jim, for me on the discussion stuff.
Well, let's talk about what's next. Sable will have full closures on 136th to 124th, starting April 6th through April 10th. This is for the E470 bridge. So if you got...
I have to remember that, Jam, because that's the way I go to Brighton.
Oh, okay.
If I go, in the afternoons, and man, I'll have to, because I know I'll get there, and because you can't really, once you go across, I think that's 124th on Sable.
Yeah.
You're just stuck.
I I mean, really, once you go across the 120th,
Yeah, that's
124th
that's
is
what
the
I'm
last
thinking of. Yeah, it's
option.
120th, Dave.
But 120th, you could always make a right. Just go up to the one with the the bridge that they weight restricted on us. Make a left. I forget what street that is, but anyway, yeah.
Yeah, but please, if you guys are using that way to go backwards or the
back way,
I guess, or the heavier way.
Yeah.
So just remember that, because it's going to suck. 4-6 to 4-10, it'll be closed.
Absolutely. Safety topic of the week: drum brakes.
Drum brakes.
We have about, I don't know, did you say a dozen trailers with drum brakes left on them?
I think there's bulk trailers.
Yeah, all the bulkers. So there's 15.
Oh.
We have a rock trailer.
And then just a handful of miscellaneous equipment, a couple rock trailers,
should
boy, drop deck,
that's the
water
one I
tanker.
wanted to mention, is like the water tanker. And, I don't know who's all pulling the water tanker. We've had a lot of the different guys do it, or even the drop deck with the ramps, the low boy, and something that we've been noticing for anybody pulling those trailers, once you unhook them, you guys, they're not being serviced. The shop has no way to pull them into the shop and get greased or get checked out if you're not checking them out. So please, you guys, anybody that pulls that type of trailer or makes a day of it, even if you're pulling the water tanker and you bring it back, maybe grab Ken or Dale. They both, I know Ken does, he has a portable grease gun. Make sure your slack adjusters, the S-cams, takes 5 minutes, 10 minutes to grease the stuff. And then also, this is more about safety, is checking the brake stroke. Maybe they should all have automatic slack adjusters on it, but slack adjusters break. You guys got to remember, everything breaks. And there's a time, the automatic slack adjuster may be broken. So if you're pulling a trailer, swapping in and out, or have that rock trailer or pulling a bulk trailer, please check your brake stroke. You shouldn't have your license without being able to know what brake stroke is, how much it is, how to do it, how to check it, all that kind of stuff. And that's the whole subject of drum brakes. If you have drum brakes, you have an automatic slack adjuster. If you do not see a disc and you see a big old drum, you have automatic slack adjusters. And the other thing is please, if you don't know how, because I said it just now, if you've got your license, you should know how. At some point, somebody taught you. But if you don't remember or you don't know how, because the minute you got out of school, every truck you've ever driven has discs on it, come ask somebody. Please don't be embarrassed. It's the point of you being able to stop that truck and not kill somebody or hurt yourself.
Yep.
It's so serious.
Yeah. I mean, I remember I learned how to check brake stroke here at JFW. Nobody really taught me that,
Yeah,
Super Dave taught me that.
It's a killer thing, and that's no joke.
No joke.
Yeah, if you need help, we're happy to help you. It's really not hard to do. You just got to know how to do it. We give you this nifty little tool to be able to check it. And yeah.
And it is possible. I mean, we don't have anything, but automatic slack adjusters didn't come out until 94. So if you're pulling a 93, a 92, a 90-year-old,
or old school
1990 model trailer, doesn't have automatic slack adjusters unless someone's put it on it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the water tanker's that old, Dave.
Yeah, there you go.
It is,
I mean, but I think it's got automatic, but it wasn't a law, like you said,
Right,
Dave.
right.
Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't, though. I don't know. I haven't pulled it. So anybody pulling that stuff, let's pay attention. I know. I think Dale or Ken, they were having some trouble with our extra drop deck. It just doesn't get pulled that often. We've been using it to grab the blocks. Well, the one axle, the brakes weren't releasing. Hadn't been greased. But it's not hooked to anything to be greased or to be serviced. And Dave had him grease the slack adjusters and stuff, and there was no squeaking. The brakes went to working, the whole bit. There's so many steps that we need to follow, to look at. We just had this week where we've talked to the safety team, Jam, and I know you're part of the safety team, about being more vigilant about our visionary, or not our visionary, but we said it, if we can predict it, we can prevent it.
I love that saying.
Sometimes we just have to look at things a little bit more to be able to predict it. That's going to help us prevent it.
Yeah.
And the reason we bring this up, the safety topic, is we had one of the rock trailers here with drum brakes. One brake was working on it.
Yeah.
One. You know, and you joked yesterday, yeah, 25%'s okay. You know, and we all know 25% of 100, hey, shit,
Yeah.
basically. And it's just, yeah, it's, you got, you know, what we do is so important not to hurt people, not to just ruin somebody's life. I can't say that enough.
Yeah. We want it to be important to you before it becomes important.
Important to us, Jim.
Yeah.
That's how do you, that is a great point. How do we make it important to you?
Now,
Right now.
before you hurt someone.
Yeah. How do we make that tailgate being closed important to you right now? How do we make those lights being out important to you right now? How do we make that tarp rolled in or rolled out all the way important to you right now? How do we make the truck full of oil and be topped off important to you right now? How do we do that? I'm asking all the people that are going to have to listen to this,
Right.
that we pay you to listen to this. How do we make this important to you right now? How do we make you care? You come up with something.
Sounds like situational awareness. I think we've talked about it.
Never mentioned it.
FYSA.
Yep.
For your situational awareness.
Who knew?
You know, I didn't have one of the safety team question me that, and I know you wouldn't because I told you, but not one of the safety team questioned me putting that on Connect.
Huh.
So every one of them knew what those initials were. Dale, Ken, Scooby,
FISA?
JR.
FISA.
Yeah, you get none of you guys questioned what that is.
Huh.
I
don't like any of these acronyms because I don't know any of them.
I don't either, but I asked Dave.
In the service.
And it's
like
a
if
Ted
you
Lasso. I got a Ted Lasso moment for you. Be fucking curious.
right? If you're in the Army, they have like hundreds of them. Oh, well, that's just the FCA or that's just PQD. And you're just like, whatever.
I always joke that Dad was way ahead going JFW because it's just a set of initiatives.
Right?
What is JFW? I don't know what
he
JFW
was 50 years ahead, wasn't he?
Right?
That's funny.
Dave,
No.
I bet you know what CYA means.
I do know that. Yes, I do know that.
I
There
bet-
you go.
I bet you know what KISS means.
KISS?
Huh.
That's not an acronym.
Yeah, it is.
That's an action.
No.
KISS?
Kiss?
Come
Keep
on.
it simple, stupid?
Oh,
You know,
okay.
you know that one.
No, apparently I didn't.
You know LOL?
I do know that.
All
It took
right.
me a little while, though.
Good. That's great. Well, speaking of the Army, because somebody mentioned the Army, I think it was you, Super Dave. Let's get into our tips and tricks with Armando the Sergeant Del Val. Number 45. Man, 7 weeks away from a year of episode from the Sergeant. Nice job.
Does he get breakfast pizza?
He got a gift card last week.
Sweet.
I know we said he doesn't get anything for doing these. Well, he's got one gift card for 45 episodes.
That's outstanding.
The warrior ethos.
The warrior ethos, right? Good morning. Do you want to read it, Jim?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I can't. You don't want to.
Oh, no, I'm not saying you're in my way. Okay.
No,
I
I just was that whatever the heading.
It's cool.
Yeah, I guess that's what. Yeah.
It grabbed my attention right away. I'm
Did
like,
mine too, that's
the
right.
warrior ethos. Let's go. Good
Good
morning.
about situational awareness,
Could be. I bet it's about doing the little things
right?
right. Doing the little things right. Good morning, JFW family, and welcome back to another week of Tips and Tricks. Please remember the purpose of these tips and tricks are just ways for us to be helpful, better, and safer drivers on the road. Let's be JFW professionals. I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade. These 4 sentences are the Army's warrior ethos. Now, in my unit, I tell soldiers that if you follow and obey these 4 sentences, I believe that you'll be successful in the Army. Now, I'm pretty sure it's easy to figure out what each of them is supposed to mean when it's related with the military. But I'm going to go through what each means here at JFW. I truly do believe that the warrior ethos comes to play with JFW. So the first one, I will always place the mission first. We all have families and friends outside of the JFW family. Some of us want to be at parties, sports games, or just hang out. However, If there's work that's got to be done, we got to place the work/mission first. So one, it's always good to look at Connect and see what weekends your schedules to work. If you don't want to work that weekend, request for another driver to take yours. If you don't request one because you forgot and you're scheduled to work, you got to work. Don't skip out because you have a family party to attend to. We got to place a mission first. Now, I know sometimes bad things happen to where we can't come to work, and that's okay. However, there is a limit on unapproved time off we get for a year. Just remember, as long as it's not an emergency, we got to place a mission first. The next one, I will never accept defeat. With the Army, this doesn't only apply to fighting in a war. It also has to do with physical and mental training. So here at JFW, when work starts getting really busy, your body is going to be exhausted. Because of the heat, lack of food and water, you can easily be defeated by this. Just like the first one, always place a mission first. To me, accepting defeat affects the mission. Eat healthy, drink water, and go strive to grab another load. Keep moving until the last minute. Bring lunch. Make sure you pack healthy and stay hydrated. Do not try to stop every day at a fast food truck or truck stop to get food. By doing this, you're possibly losing a load for 5 days. You've now lost a full day's worth of loads, which is about $300 to $350. I will never quit. Self-explanatory. Don't quit. We all should know what we signed up for. We're truck drivers. This is what we do. We drive short and long distances. We chain up in snowy conditions. We do our pre-trip and post-trip every day. This is just my opinion. I know JFW isn't for everyone. Honestly, I don't know where else you're going to find a company that gives out monthly bonuses and excellent pay once you figure out your rhythm. The best PTO program I've seen and the best damn trucks I've ever driven. One question I get asked is, what's the one thing you really don't like about JFW? My answer to that question is always, we're slow during winter. Finally, I will never leave a fallen comrade. First word of every sentence under Creed, together. We're a team, and damn it, we're the best. We're all here to help those who are struggling. I will never ignore anyone who needs help. Hell, I've been here for 3 years and I'm still asking for help. Don't be scared to ask for help, and also for JFW veterans, let's help those who need it. I think we're doing an amazing job picking up that company radio when someone is asking for help. Let's continue to work together and leave no man and woman behind. So just like I tell my soldiers at my unit, follow the warrior ethos, and I promise you'll be successful. Follow the warrior ethos, and I promise you, you're going to be successful here at JFW. So let me ask you a question. Are you a warrior? Please let me know on Connect Team what you think about this week's tips and tricks, and thank you all again for listening and the positive feedback. Let's start doing things the JFW way. Until next week, Armando the Sergeant of Law, 0073. Together we can be better. That might be my favorite tips and tricks from Armando.
I was just going to say, Joe, I mean, I have to mark down number 45.
Number 45.
Because, I mean, it's... You can be, if you follow that ethos, and obviously it's a military ethos, you know, but you can be successful in life.
Yes.
If you follow that ethos, you know, or you follow our creed and you can be successful in life, you know, but again, some of it's just so much common sense, but you got to be engaged. You know, you gotta step up. You gotta want it.
It's like everything.
Yeah.
Everything in life you have to be engaged in.
I mean, you know, I couldn't imagine leaving anybody behind. You know, that's just, God, that would just kill me if I ever had to make that decision.
Ooh.
You know, I mean, be in a circumstance where you have to. I don't know. I hope I never, especially at my age, not run into that situation at this point. I would hate to have to do that. And yeah, just great job.
Yeah,
Armando. Can't thank you enough for being involved and helping our podcast every week. It's good stuff.
Absolutely. Thanks, Mondo. Super Dave, you want to hit us with that high road home?
Sure. Boy, that's a tough one to follow up behind, you know?
That was a high road home.
It really was.
It's just easy left, isn't it, Dave?
Yeah, it's awesome. You know, my high road hauling this week is about something that everybody deals with every day. It's about your circumstances. You face them every day. You're always reacting to them positively or negatively. Think about it. What circumstances in your life do you wish to change right now? Better health? Maybe a happier marriage? A closer connection with your children? A more understanding boss? Less pressure? Almost no one looks over their life and pronounces things perfect. But far too many people make this one critical mistake in how they handle their circumstances. Far too often, we look to our circumstances to determine what's going to happen next. Today and every day, you will be tempted to let your circumstances define you. It shows up innocently enough. When somebody says, well, I can't, because, or that's awesome for them, but you need to understand my situation. Or I'd love a chance at that, but, or I was going to do it, but, well, sure, I would have more success if blank wouldn't be true. And I used to believe that was possible, but. So what's the critical mistake you and I will make over and over again, unless you see it and address it? If you let your circumstances define you, they will defeat you. In fact, your circumstances will generate an excuse factory in your mind, which will produce 1,000 reasons why you can't make the progress you were hoping to make. And they will convince you that you can't change, that you can't solve the problems you're facing. And on the other side of that, too, don't let your success control you either. Of course, circumstances don't always work against you. Sometimes things are going your way. Some of you are in that situation right now, and you can't imagine things lining up better in your favor, which is exactly why you should still never let your circumstances define you, because they will still defeat you. And here's how. You will stop working hard. You will stop dreaming about the future, and you will be tempted to let your circumstances guide you there. And they will for a short time, right? And they will, and then you'll run out of momentum, and you will. Ask every company that has to reinvent itself after a decade on top. Ask any happily married couple that hit cruise control only to discover they started drifting towards the ditch. When you stop working on it, and let circumstances define you, those same circumstances will eventually defeat you. A great enemy of your future success can be your current success. This is why you should never be content with the status quo. Progress requires us to kick hard against that status quo. Your circumstances do not define you. Your choices and responses to them do. While you cannot always control external events, you possess the power to determine your actions, attitude, and future. View challenges not as your identity, but as the opportunities for growth, resilience, and building a stronger future. And I really just love this quote, and it refers to war, but when I read it, I assimilated it to the main context of the High Road Holland itself. So think about this quote in terms of your life. Victory at all costs. Victory in spite of all terror. Victory however long and hard the road may be. For without victory, there is no survival. That was spoken by Winston Churchill.
Mm-hmm.
So it was spoken in the midst of World War II, but think how that applies to your everyday life.
I like it.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's funny how that goes along with the Warriors ethos.
It does. It does. Yeah, Super Dave, I know I've mentioned it on the podcast before, but when you talk about your circumstances, and I think about this a lot, or this situation a lot, because I try to, me and Dave were just talking that to be positive is very hard, right? You got to pick that. And, for us to stay positive here in business, it's hard, but your High Road Holland on circumstances, I think about the story of the two twins and the two twins girls. Their mom and dad were drunks and smokers and just bad people. And one twin was really successful, was just thrived, was awesome. And the other twin ended up in jail and had all this drug abuse and everything. And they interviewed the girls and they said, how did you end up this? How did you end up in jail? And the one twin said, well, do you see my parents? I had no choice. This is where I ended up. And then they asked the twin, who was so successful, how did you end up here? And she goes, did you see my parents? They were drug users and smokers, and I had no choice to be better, this side. And that's your circumstances, Dave.
Yep.
Mhm.
You know what are you going to pick? Where are you going to go?
Your choices.
Your choices. What's going to drive you to be just like them or just be better? I don't know. I
Yeah.
love that because I think of that of what's my choice today? What am I going to pick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Victory, every day you want to have a great day, right? You want to go home and in my case, Jackie will always say, how was your day today? And
Mhm.
you could say, I won, I had a great day.
Yeah, great
and
answer,
that's
Dave.
checking your tailgate. That's checking your lights. That's checking your brakes. That's looking before you back up, right? Getting out and look. And all of those things contribute to your victory today doing what we do.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. I don't think I've ever, because Holly does ask me, or one of the girls asked me, how was your day? I don't know if I've ever told anybody I've won.
Mikey always says that.
Yeah.
Mikey's like, are you winning? And I'm like, no. Yes. And I love it because I say that back to Mikey. Are you winning today? And, some days yes, some days no. But
Right.
When Mikey walks into the office, when I'm prepared, I play that DJ Khaled. All I do is win. When he walks in.
Yeah. And when I really think about, I win every day.
we do, Jim. We do.
Right. I mean, and that's just how you're thinking about your circumstances.
I was talking
Exactly,
about
yeah.
this with Oz this morning. So you're talking about choosing, and we got to choose all day long,
Mhm.
right? We always have two deals on the table, right? You could either change the tailgate lights or not, things like that, right? Or, for me, when interacting with people, I'm trying to be conscious of choosing Jesus, like in my reactions, right? So trying to just remember, all right, right now I could choose to really snap, or I could choose Jesus, you know what I mean? Or however you want to look at it, but being aware that you're making that choice is to me where you're going to win or lose. Because if you're not aware, if you're not self-aware that you are faced with either a small or a big dilemma in that moment, you may not win. You may make the choice that makes you lose in that moment. And I have those experiences, where it's,
I agree with you, Jim, and to recognize to make that choice is, like you're saying, is the first step.
Yeah.
I could give a shout out to Oz this morning and to Tracy and Linda. Their main job is to dispatch, right? And Oz was faced this morning with trying to find the truck with the tailgate open, checking on the super dumps, doing the rock trailers, handling questions from the drivers. My dispatch ain't right and everything. But, I can literally say to Oz, some of the stuff he was doing this morning, or a lot of it, it's not his job. It's not his job as a dispatcher.
right.
And yet, he was following up with the tailgate. He talked to one guy. He said, I know you checked it. Will you check it again for me? You did this. Will you check it again? Or will you, I have you here. Will you do this? When you get there, let's not do this. And he's reminding, and we have asked dispatch to do that, but he's also part of the line of defense of having something happen.
Yeah.
And when we have Linda and Tracy and Oz, those guys, and you guys, and even other drivers, when we rise up to the occasion, we can beat this. We can win.
Yeah.
We can go home winners. And, so thanks, Oz, Tracy, and Linda, for going over and beyond. And at some point, it isn't your job. I understand that so many of us do things that just aren't our job, but they are part of life.
Right.
You can't just go, that's not my job, and quit. Life is a job, and you got to be engaged.
Agreed. Well, that's my final thought. Anybody else?
That wasn't mine.
What is your final thought,
I
Jim?
feel like you guys have been quiet, or I've talked a lot today. I don't know.
You have. You've carried the podcast, Jim.
I have a question for you guys for final thought. What do all these words, what am I talking about when I give you guys all these words? What is the subject? aerospace engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, physics, chemistry, computer science, propulsion, national defense, master's degree, PhD. What am I talking about?
Purdue.
They teach a lot of that stuff there. Yeah.
Education.
I mean, propulsion. What is?
Yeah, I mean, I'm picking up engineering and I'm picking up technical stuff. Technical fields, engineering,
What has propulsion?
boats, engines.
Jets. I mean,
Keep going. Yeah. Jets, rockets.
Nuclear submarines.
Anything that moves has propulsion. I mean, we do when we're walking.
Rockets. I'm talking about rockets.
Yeah.
Rocket
Okay.
science.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I'm talking about.
I was a
Rocket
rocket
science.
scientist once.
I'm curious how many people work here that have any of those degrees.
Well, I don't.
I don't either.
I don't either. And my point being is you don't need that to work here
Mm.
because what we do isn't rocket science. But you need to be engaged,
That's true.
right?
Yep.
But you don't need a degree to do this. What we do is very simple. It's very basic, but it's all safety scheduled, right? It's safety, it's maintenance, it's preparedness, it's being engaged. It's all of those things.
You need a degree in caring.
Common sense, maybe.
That helps,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Yeah, Dave. I know. And you can make a good living doing this too.
Absolutely.
And I loved Armando's his man. I wish it was busier in the winter too. That's a problem we've never solved, and we've
Our entire lives.
our
Jim.
entire lives, Dave.
entire
Well,
lives.
we've improved it a lot.
We have, but still not fixed. Especially when Mother Nature kind of screws with you.
Right.
Like this year. So yeah, that's a great point, and it's an honest point. Well taken, well spoken. And that's what. But you can do this and not have a degree. But we got to get you to care. I don't know how else to do it. So,
You have to be engaged.
yeah,
You
engaged.
have to be engaged
Yeah.
in what we do.
Yeah. I just wanted to leave you. I just heard it the other day, said again, and I've heard this, I guess, phrase again, and I'm gonna change the men in it to people, but we have to continually think about this, especially in our society and what we do today and how we do everything. Is hard times create strong people. Strong people create good times. Good times create weak people, and weak people create hard times. And just for us here, we can't have weak people. Otherwise, we're going to have hard times. We have to be strong.
Yep.
We have to be really strong as a team and people and brothers and sisters. So that was my final thought.
Nice.
I do want to go back and ask Super Dave. You know what FYI is, right?
Let's see. FU.
I'm not.
Yes, Dave,
I'm
I do.
going down a path. FYI, right?
Yes, I do.
For your information, right?
Yep.
And I'm sure you've probably spelled that out somewhere in a text or whatever. Hey,
No.
sent a note to Jackie in a text. Hey, FYI, the generator guy is going to be there at 10.
Yeah.
Whatever
Mi-
the case may be, right?
Mine is ASAP, Dave. I like to use that one.
Right? Yeah, exactly. And I know we're talking about that. And I really thought you were going to bring it up. That's the reason I didn't dwell on it.
Mm.
And you touched on it, but you didn't drive.
I-
You didn't drive the note home, right?
I didn't, because
And-
not one of our safety guys questioned me.
Yeah, maybe they all know. So one of the things Jim ran across this weekend was FYSA. FYSA. And we talk about the SA all the time.
All the time.
Right? So it's for your situational awareness. And it was actually, they had bought something on not Craigslist, but Facebook Marketplace and needed to go down an alley between a couple homes or whatever. And the person was like FYSA when they gave the directions.
Yeah.
And it's like, Jim asked me, do I know what that stands for? I'm like, nope, absolutely not. I'm like, FYI, for your, you know what I mean? Like, I got the for your FY. And I'm like, I have no idea what SA is. And it would be interesting to find out what that person did for a living, Jim. You know what I mean? For them to use that terminology, because it's not like you've all sent your buddies
LMFAO.
Yeah, thank you. I have to type it to see it, right? Rather than say it. So
No, because I did have to look it up, or Allie looked it up, Dave, and you've heard the story. But it was like, I mean, a minute, the situational awareness and the Allie, I'm like, I need that.
oh my God.
I need
It
that.
was an aha moment.
That's the situation.
Yes.
I need to be aware of it.
Yes.
And we drove past the front of the house to the
Yeah.
alley
Yeah.
and pulled in the alley. It's like,
Yeah.
thank you very much. Made it so
Absolutely.
simple. So, yeah.
I mean, FYSA, when you get to plant 2, check in with the loader operator where to dump. Be sure you know what you have on. Be sure you understand what bin it goes in. You know what I mean? That's FYSA it's I think it will become important. I think that was kind of the tip of the iceberg.
I was thinking a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or our motto.
Yeah. FYSA. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I got.
Awesome. Soup, you all wrapped up?
Yep.
All right.
Let's say the creed and get on out of here.
Get on out.
Get on.
Oh, that's your line.
Oh, wait. Don't forget, do that part too. Don't
Like and
forget
subscribe.
to the Challenge 23 podcast. Hit that follow button.
Hit that follow button. Hit it.
Nah,
Smash it.
let's do it.
Together we face and overcome all that stands before us. Together we are accident free. Together we joyfully create honest value for those we serve. Together we celebrate our differences and respect those with whom we work. Together we are accountable for our words and our actions. Together we are the JFW family.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next week.
Be safe out there. Thanks, everybody.
FYSA.
I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-looking for another load. Well, it's a family tradition, any Rocky Mountain day. Our fathers before us showed us the way. We work for asphalt cowboys and concrete kings, but that's never been a problem, 'cause we got diesel in our veins. We've got diesel in our veins. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just looking for another load. I hear there's a couple million tons to move. I see them everywhere. So you best get out their way and watch that sand and gravel disappear. There's another run to make. We gotta get it there on time. And we got what it takes to lay it all out on the line. We'll lay it all out on the line. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just looking for another load. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks got the best drivers in town. They got all the tools they need to keep that hammer down. When they hit them scales, they won't need to dodge them, won't need to duck them. They just keep that hammer down, and they keep that diesel trucking. Keep that hammer down, and keep that diesel trucking. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-looking for another load. They just keep them doors a-closed, keep them butts in their seats, 'cause those customers are calling, and those red trucks can't be beat. They've gotta put the hammer down and pick up another load. Get it off the ground, keep them eyes open and on the road. Keep them eyes open on the road. I see those big, big, bright, shiny red trucks just a trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just looking for another load. Breaker 23, anybody got a copy on that Channel 23 podcast? Welcome, and thanks for listening.